Wives, I want to tell you some truth. Please enjoy your husbands when they are alive. Listen to this story. I remember I met this woman at a Christmas party organized for some widows when I was still writing for Lagos Weekend around 1995. Her husband just died that time. We agreed to have an interview because she had stories to tell, of her husband, her marriage, of how her husband died, how his family showed her pepe, as we say here in Nigeria. I am broadcasting this 1995 story because I want you women to learn something and enjoy your marriage. When you hear people say marriage is a scam, don't believe them. Marriage is a scam for them because of the way they laid their beds. Please enjoy yourselves while alive. Life is always no longer the same when wives lose their husbands. May your husband not die early in your marriage. At the interview, she said her husband and herself had a good time when he was alive. Let me read the story so that you will understand me better. Not until my husband died that I knew what I lost. He was romance personified. He was love in flesh and blood. We were married for 18 years and he was not tired of me. He would always touch my breast anytime he passed by me. Home, bedroom, kitchen, compound, he will always find a way to either tap my breast or squeeze my bum. Of course, I always complain that, haba, the taya, leave me ojare. Suppose I no get breast. Suppose I no get big bum. I always caution him not to touch me. There were days we fought over this habit. He must touch me, shaaa. Anytime he was to pass by me, I will anticipate his hand touching my breast or bum, so I will block him or avoid him somehow. He will want to make love to me almost every day, even after 4 children. He will call me from the office in the afternoon that he was horny. I should come home for a quickie, my husband, Kai. Of course, I wouldn't mind him. I strictly limited him to twice a week, sometimes once. If I was bathing, he would be peeping. If I traveled out of Lagos, he would fall ill in under 2 days. Come to think of it, he was a very busy man. He had his company, but he had time for me. He would not allow the children to sleep in our room. He probably sucked and caressed my breast more than all my 4 children put together. If I went out, he would be monitoring me with phones. If I went to parties, 10 minutes into the parties, he would be calling me. Is the party not over yet? All my friends would say, my husband know the taya. He was all over me. I don't know what to say. Of course, if I had known that he will not live long, I wouldn't have bothered. Often, he will walk me to the market and move everywhere with me. He will not complain about my argument with the sellers. He will just be there laughing at the nature of we women haranguing price. Same with following me to the salon. He would stand there watching what they were doing with my hair. How many men can do that, Uncle Bola? Do wives appreciate them? Even me then, I was always thinking, why is this man following me about? In the bedroom, you can never see my husband wear clothes, always naked. I will always complain that why would you be dangling this thing around the bedroom all day long? Our children couldn't come inside without knocking and waiting to be invited in. I often complain, can't our children be free to come in anytime they like? He created that bedroom for our privacy. There was a fridge stocked with all manner of drinks, TV, everything. Our bedroom was our innermost recess. Now I miss him. I miss his afternoon calls. If I knew he would not live long, I would have left my office so many times to have nice time with him. I miss his hands touching my breast. I miss him squeezing my bum. I miss my husband's romances. I miss seeing him naked. I miss his lovemaking. In his younger days, he would wait for me till I get to orgasm. He was not selfish in lovemaking. But when he was in his middle 40s, he started getting weaker and weaker in lovemaking. When he was 50, something hit him and he could barely make love for 2 minutes. One day, I complained that where was my husband's sexual agility? What has happened to him? Was he doing it outside and bringing half of his used agility to me? That was when I spoke to an elderly woman who educated me that men get weaker as they grow older. I should not complain because it defeats their confidence in themselves and it will make them feel we are seeking more sex outside marriage. That was how I learned to manage what I got. He knew I was not satisfied, but what could he do? In his younger days, what will he not do with me when making love? He will be exploring everywhere, do everything doable, and I will be saying he is committing sin. If only I knew he would not live long. She began to cry. Again. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ ká fi ikú mọ ìyà ara wa o. Bola, my husband was a drinker, but not a drunkard. He took stout, but know what? He will never drink outside, nor drink in my absence. He was a triangular man. Office, church, home. Office, church, home. I often wondered how he combined the church thing with his beer. He loved God. If my husband prayed in your presence, you will think Jesus was praying. He knew the Bible inside out, but he indulged in beer, and I helped him with different types of pepper soup and isiewu rather than nag him to stop drinking beer. He drank his beer inside the house. In fact, inside our bedroom. He was careful not to drink in the presence of our children. If we are in church, you will see him looking for me all over the place. I was always like, this man, now woman kill him the first time he came to this world. We had our quarrels too. We always quarrel over sex when he wanted too much of it. My husband has so many bottles of different concoctions, agbo jedi, brought to him by these guests hawking agbo. He had over 6 different bottles at home. He called them ale, ọ̀pá-ẹ̀yìn, afato, iba, jedi, adodun, pelorie, etc. Now, wow. I just threw them away. If I knew he had a short time to live, I would have appreciated my husband more. Anytime I see him drinking this, I will be saying, Torikini, why now? Over this sex, Sha, he will say, it's a football match tonight. Because of that, I could remain in the parlor or go and stay in the children's room, refusing to enter the bedroom quickly. He will have swollen with anger, and he will start threatening me that he will go out and have girlfriends. So that is what I don't like to hear. Go now. Sometimes I will not sleep in the bedroom for threatening me. In the morning, no greetings. That was how he will go to work, though we will make up later. My husband had a way of making my first 2 daughters jealous of our love life. Can you imagine? My husband will carry me on his back and take me around the house. The children will be laughing. She laughs. When he bought things, he would buy the biggest share for me. My children will be complaining. How could he will say he knew me before knowing them. So Pascal is dead now. She started crying. Another thing that endeared me to my husband now, which saved me tremendously from his family, is that though he died without a will, all the properties we had, 2 buildings, 4 plots of land in Ikorodu and Lekki areas, properties including electronics like fridge, television, sound system, the 3 cars, we had 3 Okada walking around Ajao Estate and 4 buses. My husband wrote the papers and receipt as Mr. Pascal Abraham and Mrs. Eunice Ebuola Pascal. Even this, our house in Ajao Estate, all the papers are in our 2 names. Can you imagine? Every paper. Please, Bola, tell women never to make the mistake. Let them force their husband to write every receipt and paper of all their properties in their husband and wife names, not just as Mr. and Mrs. Abraham. Anybody could show up as Mrs. Abraham, but the 2 full names of the wife must be spelled out in the receipt paper. Kindly use your influence as a journalist to teach women what could dispossess them of their rights and benefits in case anything happens to their husband. Today, these receipts and papers gave me the upper hand over his family, who think everything in my home was bought by their son. Why do people think women can never buy things? Why do family always see women as non-achievers? I was to be dispossessed, but God saved me through the papers my husband left behind. If only I knew he would not live long enough. My brother, my sister, I'm sure you've listened to this broadcast. Enjoy your marriage, fa. This is a wife talking about her husband. I know a lady whose husband passed on and she was dressing fine all over the place a few days after the man died. The day I saw her and was shocked that she did not look or dress as if she is mourning, she responded to me that, Pastor, stop this. Oh, God has just taken my reproach away. That was what she told me. I was shocked. My brother, what would you say of your wife after she passed on? Madam, what will you say of your husband when he passed on? We have just one life. Why must we spend it in pains and bitterness? Are you sure your marriage cannot be happy? What sacrifices do you need to make your home a happy one? In my next two broadcasts, I will be speaking on how to handle or cope with a difficult wife. And in the third broadcast, I will be speaking on how to handle a difficult husband. Pray for me. May the Lord give me the understanding I need. This is Mentoring Masterclass. May the Lord keep us till then. If you need to speak with me, my numbers are there. Call me. I am here. Bye. God be with you.